Hi everyone, here's the Bookchemist once again, and today I'm reviewing Store of the Worlds, which is an awesome collection by the New York Review of Books Classic Series, an awesome collections of Robert Sheckley's best short stories. Those of you who like science fiction and fantastical fiction, and especially the more humorous and crazy side of these genres, cannot not know Robert Sheckley. I personally knew him very little before reading this collection. I had read his collection Never Touched by Human Hands, something like that, but several years ago, like 5 or 6 years ago. And a professor of mine suggested this particular edition, and I have to say that if anything, it made me want to read so much more of Sheckley's fiction. This edition is an excellent entry point into Sheckley's production, because number one, it's edited by a guy called Alex Abramovich, whom I don't really know, but I'm sure he's a great guy, and by Jonathan Liffin, my main man, one of the best writers writing today, and one of the most active writers in promoting the value and importance of popular culture, genre fiction, those kinds of things. Number two, because Robert Sheckley, as much as many authors from the golden age of science fiction, Asimov, John Wyndham, Arthur C. Clarke, Robert Heinlein, he wrote a fucking lot of stuff. He wrote so many novels and short stories, and it's probably gonna be difficult for someone who's not an expert in the field to decide where to begin. The Store of the Worlds is an excellent starting point. Most of the stories in this book come from the golden age of science fiction, basically the 50s, and they show it. They show it in their imaginative nature, in their experimental nature of their content, in the mind-blowing plot twists you get in these stories. Some of these are as good as the best episodes of The Twilight Zone. They show it in the weird mix of some kind of positivism and dreadful pessimism as far as stuff like nuclear world peace is concerned. In some of these stories, the human race is seen as moving toward a state of cooperation. Universal cooperation is the only possible outcome of history. In others of this story, the bleak, dreadful nature of war and of the human being as a creature is revealed. And some of these stories are terribly bleak and can be really powerful in conveying sadness and despair. At the same time, the main feeling you get reading Robert Sheckley is one of a guy who wanted to have fun most of all. And you need that in your fiction, really. Reading Robert Sheckley, if anything, makes you want to read more Robert Sheckley, makes you want to read more imaginative and crazy and fascinating fiction like his. He invented, or at least he perfected, a specific kind of irony that uses absurdity and surrealism a lot without sacrificing plot to absurdity. It's the kind of irony that was heavily influential on people like Douglas Adams, the author of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, who himself was a big influence on Terry Pratchett. And the show Futurama, I'm a huge fan of the show Futurama. That is to me basically The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy with a more contemporary feel and vibe. And it all started really with Robert Sheckley. If you needed more reasons to read this book, I'd say that it's because Sheckley's influentiality, if that is a word in English, goes well beyond the realm of science fiction. And there's a story in this thing called Worm, which is basically fucking postmodernism in a nutshell. In 1953, the origins of postmodernism in pulp and genre fiction are something that should be researched way more than it is nowadays. Other stories feature similar postmodern vibes in the way they analyze and talk about the boundaries between creator and creation, especially as far as fiction is concerned. I saw that a lot in stories like The Store of the Worlds or Beside Still Waters. If you have read this collection or these stories, let me know if you felt the same kind of vibe. Moreover, if you are Robert Sheckley's fans, let me know what I should read next, because now I've finished this, I really don't know where to start. My professor gave me a few other suggestions, but I'd like to hear your opinion too, of course, because he wrote so much and I'd really like to read more of his stuff. Terry Pratchett, since I mentioned him, is also an author I'd like to read more. I have 2 of his books here at home. I hope I'll be able to read them very soon, before the summer, I hope, but my dissertation is going very slowly and I should probably focus on a bit more boring stuff at the moment. Thank you so much for watching once again, guys. Let me know what Sheckley's novels or short stories are your favorite. Let me know what your experience with him. Who are your favorite golden age science fiction authors? Whatever passes through your mind, let me know in the comments down below. I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.